What is going on, Kryptic crew? This is your boy Kryptic Flash here, bringing you guys our Week 4 team builder against my good friend JP3 Games and the head coach of the Illinois Steelix. So if you guys are hyped, make sure you hit that like button down below. Also subscribe if you're new to join the Kryptic crew. Now I know the last 2 weeks I should say, we got ourselves a little bit of booty whooping. We got swept twice. Still stings a little bit. Definitely could have played better. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's live recording these battles or what, but when I do these battles, I like way overthink the play instead of just going for like the basic play. I'm like overthinking it. I'm like, is he gonna go for this crazy move or this crazy move? Oh, I better protect it on this random crazy move, and so I do that, and it just ends up biting me in the butt. So we are going to try to calm ourselves down, you guys. I am tired of getting swept. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am a very, very competitive person. Like, I've grown up playing sports. I don't like to lose, and I don't think anyone likes to lose. But I need to relax. I need to realize it's just a game. Whatever happens, happens. It's all fun competition, and all that good stuff. So we will do better this week. I feel it. Last week we got 5-0. We didn't get 6-0, so a little bit of improvement there. But I'm hoping to bring that down a little bit. So we're gonna go over JP3's team real quick. See what he's got. He's got some pretty spooky mons for sure. So let's start out with that Mega Blastoise there. So that is his Mega. He never drafted it. He ended up picking it up in free agency. Used some points, I think like week 2 or something like that. So pick this thing up. Mega Blastoise is pretty spooky, just because it's kind of a thick mon, and it's got pretty nice special attack stat. Also, it doesn't have too bad of a physical attack stat. So if he wants to run, he can run a mixed Blastoise, which would be something. It's got that Mega Launcher ability, boosting its water pulses, Aura Spheres, dark pulses, things of that nature. It also could get Scald, which is always annoying to see. It could be a spinner if he wants to get rid of hazards, which actually would be a pretty decent spinner due to its bulk. I don't know, it's just an all-around kind of a thick spooky mon. And if you compare Mega Blastoise and Mega Aggron like side by side, they look so sweet together. Like, they look like they would be a pretty crazy duo. But that's not what this match is. This is going to be Aggron against Blastoise. Not the other way around. But his next Pokemon is going to be Metagross. Now Metagross is kind of a spooky Pokemon. It can set up with Hone Claws. It can also get priority with Bullet Punch. Meteor Mash can be doing some work, and if he gets lucky with those attack boosts, that could be pretty spooky. He gets Earthquake, Zen Headbutt, coverage with the Elemental Punches. And so Metagross is just kind of a spooky Pokemon. We need to keep an eye out for. Priority is always spooky, especially when it comes from a Metagross. So speaking of priority, his next Pokemon, Breloom, is the king of priority. This thing with its Technician Mach Punch is going to be doing work to our squad. As you guys know, we have a huge fighting weakness. Fighting just kind of puts in the work, and Technician, Life Orb, Breloom is one-shotting. It's one-shotting Nihilego, it's one-shotting Heliolisk, it's one-shotting Terrakion. So we need to definitely keep our eye out for that. He could be a Sword Stance setup set with Sword Stance Mach Punch and just run shop. He can also run Bullet Seed for coverage on Hippowdon and my beautiful Primarina. And this thing also gets like it gets some decent moves actually, but if he doesn't want to take advantage of the Technician, he can run Toxic Orb Facade type deal. I've seen that before. I don't know, there's a lot of different sets that he could run. I feel like with Breloom, once you see it for the first couple turns, you can kind of assume what set it's going to be. You can run Spore to put things to sleep, and Spore is a very obnoxious move. Putting you to sleep, 100% accurate. Like, it's just it's a bear to get past. But I think we have an answer for Spore. His next Pokemon, Porygon 2, is a fat little duck. He is a bulky boy. But he's probably going to be rocking an Eviolite like most Porygons do. Porygon 2s, I mean, it would be kind of a waste not to put an Eviolite on that thing. It gets coverage with Ice Beam and Thunderbolt. You can also give it some kind of cheeky hidden power or something like that. Stab Tri-Attack is also kind of spooky, just because you have that chance of a status ailment, which is always kind of a pain. And it has reliable recovery with Recover, so it could Toxic you and Recover Stall you and just let you die. So it's a very bulky Pokemon, and if he brings it, I want to try to get rid of it as soon as possible. If not, like, get rid of it, just punch a huge hole in him. So his next Pokemon is actually one of my favorite Pokemon, Hydreigon. This thing is pretty sweet because it's got the Levitate ability, which is always nice. I think this is his fastest Mon on his team. When I was doing team prep, I think that this is his fastest Mon. He gets Stab, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Draco. He could run Earth Power, which would hurt my Nihilego. What else does he get? He could get Pivot with U-Turn, which would always be kind of a pain just to scout, see what you want to do. I don't know, it's just kind of a spooky Mon, and if he runs Scarf, I don't want to see a Scarf Hydreigon. My voice just cracked. I'm 22 and my voice just cracked. Oh my gosh. But I think either Scarf or even he could run Specs and just do damage, you guys. Specs would drive holes in my squad, no joke. But we need to scout that out early to see what he is. Whether he be Specs, Scarf, something, Life Orb, just so that we can kind of plan accordingly. If we know that he's choiced and he locks himself into a move, then we can make the appropriate play. Otherwise, I would prefer him to be, I think he'll be Scarf just because he's got kind of a slower team, and this would be the only thing that could possibly outspeed like my Terrakion or Nihilego or Heliolisk, only if he gave him a Scarf. So I definitely am thinking that it's going to be Scarfed, but you never know. You never know. So his next Pokemon is Gigalith. Now Gigalith is a bulky boy, and when they gave him his Sandstream ability, he became infinitely better. His attack set's not all that bad. He's got great physical defense. Now he's got good special with that Sandstorm up. He's pretty, like, Gigalith is a pretty basic Pokemon. What you see is what you get with him. He's going to set rocks. He's going to have Stone Edge or Rock Slide, Heavy Slam, possibly an Earthquake. Like, it's not a very, like, diverse Pokemon, but it does its job really well. And so that's what's kind of spooky. Like, you see it come in and you pretty much know that, oh, they're probably going to get their rocks up, unless you have a really good check. But usually, typically, it does its job well. And so that's something we need to watch out for. I thought about being really cheeky. I'm going to do a little spoiler here, but I thought about, this was after the fact that I got all my Pokemon, but I thought about Sand Force Hippowdon if he does want to bring the sand, and how that could really drive holes in his team. And I'm so bummed that I thought about that later, but unfortunately, we're not bringing Hippowdon. I'll go over the team in just a bit, but I just thought I'd share that little tidbit of information for you. His next Pokemon, Arcanine, is kind of spooky. He could run offensive or defensive Arcanine. Defensive is actually more scary than offensive, just because he can start burning things with Will-O-Wisp. He's got that extreme speed. He can Morning Sun if he wants to pull that kind of shenanigans. Like, we don't have many things that can one-shot a defensive Arcanine. Actually, I don't think we have anything really that can one-shot an Arcanine. Even Choice Specs Primarina is only doing with Hydro Pump. It's a damage roll. Like, it's like a 10% chance that we OHKO. So Arcanine is very scary. I'm gonna plan for it to come because I don't really have any answers for it, and I don't want everything on my team getting burnt, because that'll snap us up real good. Next up, he's got that Magnezone, and Magnezone is a very, very good Pokemon. Its special attack set is crazy. It's got the sturdy which is always nice. So we are going to have to get some rocks up if we can to go ahead and pop that sturdy, because I don't want to mess with this thing longer than I have to. He's got pivot it with Volt Switch, so if he brings Magnezone and Hydreigon, he's got some Volt turning going on. Also Stab, Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, like this thing just hits super hard. I would expect him to possibly bring a choice Magnezone. I think that would be something that we could possibly see at choice specs, because that would be doing the work. So that's definitely something we need to watch out for. It's a very spooky Pokemon. The magnets. Don't sleep on those magnets. They're turning and they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you. Next up is Clefable, and Clefable is annoying as well. He could run offensive with Wonder Guard Life Orb. So he's not taking any extra damage, and he's just getting off some pretty mean hits. This thing gets coverage, fire coverage with Flamethrower and Fire Blast, Moonblast. This thing can set up rocks, which actually makes it a pretty decent Pokemon. You can't Poison Stall it because of Wonder Guard, unless he's what is the other ability? Unaware. I think that's his other ability, but this thing could just set up Calm Minds and try to sweep you. It could Toxic Stall you. It's just kind of a headache. If we let him, we can't really let him set up Calm Minds, because you can't Toxic Stall him. I think that he'd be fearing the Mega Aggron, as well as I get coverage with Nihilego, and Terrakion can get coverage. So I think that if he does bring this thing, we need to watch out, not let it set up, and not let it just whittle us down with like Toxic and crap. So we need to be careful if he does bring this thing. Next up, he's got that Toxapex. Toxapex is a bulky boy. He's got Toxapex, like its offense is not very good. He could have Scald just to try to burn things, but it's not going to be doing too much damage. He can set Toxic Spikes, which would be really annoying. It's got Regenerator so that it can keep on healing. Baneful Bunker, if you want to try to attack it, he's just going to poison you. Toxapex is just a really cool Pokemon. I think that it's one of my favorite that they added in Gen 7. It's just a cool Pokemon, and it's hiding underneath its little poison arms, and it's crazy. So we're gonna start going over my team here. I think that we have the answers for his team. I've said that the past 2 weeks, and we've gotten swept, so I don't know how much merit that has for you guys, but I think we got this. But I did a lot of like post team, like after I had my team created for me, I did a lot of like tweaking after, and just like shuffling around for my old Pokemon, just because I couldn't find something that I was super happy with. So we're gonna just go over it. Our first Pokemon that we're bringing is the Pokemon we always bring every week. Is going to be Mega Aggron. Juggernaut here is going to be rocking the Heavy Slam, Brick Break, Earthquake, and Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks because we're not bringing Hippowdon, so this is going to be our Rock Setter for the week. Heavy Slam to obviously take care of that Clefable if we need to. Otherwise, it hits Gigalith pretty hard. Heavy Slam does do some damage to Breloom, and I'm pretty sure, I want to see how many Mach Punches we can live if we do bring in our Aggron against a Breloom. Aggron Mega. We'll just do that set. And Breloom is doing, so Mach Punch is doing 29 to 35% if he's Adamant Life Orb with max attack. So this could possibly be our switch into that. And then Heavy Slam is doing 80 to 94. So I'm gonna let Aggron do what he is supposed to do and just let him take hits and deal damage. I'm not gonna play these switching games when I need to kill a Pokemon. I'm just gonna go into our tank and let him take lives. So that is what Aggron is here to do. Brick Break also will cover the Porygon 2. It will cover, I'm actually thinking about getting rid of Brick Break and putting Toxic on this thing. Because Brick Break, it covers the Hydreigon, and the Magnezone and the Gigalith, but I feel like if he brings Porygon 2 and we don't have something that to poison it, we are going to be in a whole lot of trouble. So that is one change I might make, is get rid of Brick Break and go ahead and give him Toxic. And just paralyzing things or poisoning things in general could be nice. He's got a couple immunities. Actually, he's got quite a few with Toxapex, Magnezone, and Metagross, as well as Clefable if he has Wonder Guard. So it would really kind of only be for Blastoise, Porygon, and Hydreigon, and of course Gigalith. But I think that just because I don't really have something to whittle down Porygon 2, I don't want him just sitting up on me recovering. That's something I don't want to see. So I thought about it during the shuffle. I must have forgot about the move Toxic, but looking at the team now, I think that we need to give Juggernaut Toxic for that Porygon 2, because I don't really have a good answer. I've got a Terrakion and a Darman, like things that hit it, but it can live any one hit and just go for recover. And so that's probably a change we're gonna make. That's probably a change we're gonna make. Our next Pokemon, you guys, is another returning Mon. Ahoy or Delmise. Now, the thing with Ahoy is I'm tired of bringing it every week. It's a rapid spinner, obviously, and that's why I've been bringing it every week, is just because it's really our only reliable form of getting rid of our hazards. We have Salamence, but Salamence is taking 25% off of rocks. Now, I did make a free agent, my last free agent agency pickup. We actually are dropping Salamence, and we are picking up Latios. Now, I think that the reason I can justify this is because Latios does not have the flying type. It's got a Dragon Psychic type, and so when it comes in on rocks to get rid of it with Defog, it's not going to be taking 25%. It's only going to be taking 12%. And that's a huge difference, you guys. Not letting Mega or Salamence, or not letting your Pokemon in general take 25% when coming in on rocks is a huge deal. And with Latios, it's got both Dragon Dance and Calm Mind, so if you want to be physical, you could set up on the physical side. If you want to be special, you can set up on that. I wanted a Pokemon that I could bring each week that would be different and that we could set up in a unique way. Like Salamence, the only way you could set it up is if you're running like Moxie, Dragon Dance, and that's the only way you could set up. And that kind of limits your move pool a little bit. With what's his face, Latios, you can run Calm Mind with Thunderbolt. Like, he's got some decent coverage too. I think it can learn. I don't know right now. I don't have the sets in front of me, but I think that overall Latios replaces Salamence. It still gives us that dragon typing. It just doesn't give us that huge weakness to rocks. A big thing with Salamence too was its stab flying was the only stab physical flying move that he got, or fly move in general, was Fly, and that's a 2-turn move, and that's just kind of that's kind of a pain in the neck. So I figured that Latios, you can use his Dragon and Psychic Stab without having to wait a turn. He's got physical Psychic Stab with Zen Headbutt, or you could go special with Psychic or Psyshock, and then Dragon with Dragon Claw or Dragon Pulse or Draco. So that's gonna be it for my spiel on Latios. You guys will probably maybe see him next week, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But our Delmise here is our rapid spinner, like he's always been, and that's kind of reason for the pick. It's just so that I can stop bringing Ahoy every week, because I feel like that becomes predictable. But this week we actually really needed to bring him. He's got the Power Whip, Anchor Shot, Shadow Claw, Rapid Spin, Assault Vest. He can handle Blastoise pretty nicely. He can handle Metagross very nicely. I don't think Metagross really has anything to hurt me with. Blastoise Dark Pulse could be doing some damage, but that's why we have the Assault Vest on. Breloom, this is the main reason that I brought Delmise, is because Breloom and Mach Punch is kind of spooky, and so he gets pretty much walled by Delmise. Even if he wants to go for a Spore, he's not going to be affecting us at all. So Dhelmise is a huge wall to Breloom, and that's a big reason why I'm bringing him, because that's pretty much our only Breloom check is this Dhelmise. So we need to be careful with it. We need to use it only when we absolutely have to, and not just let it take damage unnecessarily. So our next Pokemon, you guys, is going to be our beautiful Heliolisk, Umbrella or Heliolisk. This is a max offensive, speed, special attack, timid, choice specs to be doing some crazy damage. Like I said, Heliolisk is like base 108 or 109 speed, so it's outspeeding everything barring a choice scarf. If he's got a choice scarf Hydreigon, he will outspeed us, and he will do some damage. I don't think there's any one move unless he specs that will one-shot us, so we can go ahead and try to get a Focus Blast off. Otherwise, choice specs, Umbrella is doing the work, you guys. It's smacking that Blastoise, it's smacking Toxapex. He's got no electric immunities, and that's a huge reason why I'm bringing Umbrella, is just because I can literally lead off with it. Either that or Mega Aggron, either get up rocks or just pivot and hit something hard. That's the main reason for bringing this thing. Choice specs just to make sure that my hits are being felt, so that he knows that I'm there. So I think that with the Volt Switch Thunderbolt, I think that's going to be putting in the most work. I might hit Surf for that Gigalith or Arcanine if I predict those things to come in. But honestly, even a Gigalith, a Thunderbolt, or a Volt Switch, he's not going to want to take multiples. And that goes for Arcanine as well. Like choice specs, Heliolisk is pretty crazy. So that's what we're bringing with that bad boy. We've also got our next Pokemon, who is the Darmanitan. Dumbrowse the Darmanitan is going to be rocking the U-Turn, Flare Blitz, Superpower, and Earthquake. Jolly Sheer Force with the Expert Belt. So U-Turn obviously for pivot and try to get some momentum on our side. Flare Blitz kills the Metagross, the Breloom, Magnezone, Superpower for the Hydreigon and the Gigalith, as well as the Magnezone if I don't want to risk a Flare Blitz. And then Earthquake just because he's got a lot of ground weaknesses. It covers that Arcanine slot, which would be a little spooky if we just let that thing come in and start doing its thing. So that's a big reason for Earthquake. And the Expert Belt, just because we have so much coverage, I want to be making sure that like we're doing damage to everything without taking a Life Orb. I don't want to take the Life Orb damage on top of Flare Blitz, because that just kind of hurts. So our next Pokemon we have is going to be our bully here, our Terrakion. The reason I love Terrakion is because he's fast and he hits like a truck. We've got a Jolly Choice Scarf set to make sure that we are outspeeding everything. There's nothing on his team that's going to outspeed this thing. With close combat to really smack the Hydreigon, the Gigalith, Magnezone, even really nothing wants to take a close combat. It hurts that P2 really good. Stone Edge for the Arcanine, as well as Earthquake for other coverages. And then Iron Head for that Clefable if he does want to bring that thing in on a close combat, and we can predict that and go for an Iron Head. So I think that Bully is a pretty good Pokemon. Earthquake also covers that Toxapex too. Toxapex isn't like, it's got the stab, super effective Scald, but I mean still that's from a Toxapex. So our last Pokemon we are bringing was a total wild card last minute pick. I think that its item is still choice specs or Beauty Queen, the Primarina. It's holding the choice specs right now. We'll see if I want to stick to that. I might give it leftovers. This is a max HP, max special attack Primarina. Scald, Moonblast, Energy Ball, Shadow Ball. I think that I actually will end up giving this thing the leftovers before the match. I know there's changes that need to be made. I did this all kind of like, I made my team And then I got to looking at my team and I'm like, I don't like the way this looks. And looking at his team, like, he's got some crazy threats. And so I was kind of patching things together. So I think that we'll end up giving Beauty Queen the leftovers just to get some health back. Beauty Queen can take hits from Blastoise. It can take hits from Arcanine, and that's pretty much what Beauty Queen is here to do. Also here to spook out that Hydreigon. We could take any one hit from that thing and just kill it with a Moonblast if we need to. Otherwise, we're taking like minimal damage from an Arcanine. Unless he's got the Wild Charge, and then Blastoise is doing next to nothing to us. So, Moonblast coverage, obviously on the Hydreigon, Energy Ball for the Blastoise, and it hits the Gigalith, but we'd be hitting that with Scalds. Shadow Ball for the Metagross. But yeah, that's our Beauty Queen. We're no choice specs, leftovers, and Aggron is going to be rocking Toxic. But those are the only changes that I'm going to make off screen. Let me know down in the comments down below what you think of this team. We have a big match this week. I'm nervous. JP he's good, man. He's good. Like, this is his first league and he's never really done competitive battling before. But for not doing it, he's been doing crazy well. So all of his he's got the same record we do, but all of his losses have been like by 1 or 2 Pokemon, and I've watched them and they're like they're this close. They're super close. So he's good. He's good. Don't sleep on JP, man. Don't sleep on him. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of the team. We are going to try to get back on track, get to 2-2, get a neutral record, so that we can hopefully start making a playoff run. It's week 4. I think we're gonna start. We're doing 9 weeks. We voted it just to add another week so that we could play all the coaches. So there's gonna be 9 weeks, and then playoffs, I heard, is top 6 teams. So we are tied with like 3 other teams at 1 and 2. I think there's 1 or 2 teams that are 0 and 3. I'm not positive. But we need to start picking up some W's. I need to calm down when I play. I need to just relax, take a deep breath, clear my mind, and just make the solid reads. Don't overthink it. So I hope you guys did enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new to join the Kryptic crew, and that's gonna be it for me, guys. This is Kryptic Flash. I'm out.